Hi, my name is Karen Ziegler, design thinking consultant with designforinnovation.com, and I help executives and senior leaders design innovation from the inside out. I do that three ways. One, by tapping into the potential of their employees. Two, by removing the obstacles that hinder performance and innovation. And three, by beginning to build an ecosystem of innovation. And today we're going to be talking about the flow state. And as an executive leader, wow, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could pop into the flow state at any point? And I proclaim that you actually can, but it takes habit and it takes the development of getting into the flow state. And I'm going to teach you today how to practice a micro habit that will get you into the flow state faster. But before we get started, in case you're new to design thinking, here's an overview of the process. Okay, let's get started. And we'll start with the definition of flow state as given by the psychologist that founded it. And his name is written on the screen. I can't pronounce it, but he defines flow state as flow is the optimal state of consciousness, a peak state where we both feel and perform our best. We become so involved in the activity that nothing else seems to matter. The ego falls away, time flies, every action, movement, and thought follows inevitably from the previous one, like playing jazz. Your whole being is involved and you're using your skills to the utmost. I just love that definition. And a couple things I want to point out before we move on to the micro habit is one is that you're using your skills to the utmost. And doesn't every executive want to function all of their day in that manner? I know I do. The second thing I want to point out is that the ego falls away. And the ego is our thinking mind, that thing that's kind of always running in the background, and either we command it or it commands us. And specifically, it commands our attention. And so that is what getting in the flow state is about. Putting the ego mind, the thinking mind, under our command, and then being and doing the thing flowing together. So we're in our being and we're in the activity that we're doing, and we're not necessarily thinking about all the things the ego wants us to think about and the problems that it wants us to solve. So let's get started into the micro habit that you can do to begin to disconnect from the thinking mind, the ego mind, and get into that state of being and doing on a daily basis. Okay, let's get started. First, it's important to understand that there are three states of being. And I like to think of these almost as screens that we look at. The first state of being is that we are being distracted by the inner world of our thoughts, right? We get stuck in our head and we're thinking, and it's almost like nothing else exists. Our focus, even though we're kind of staring off into space, we're seeing nothing that's happening going around us. And we may even have someone that's with us kind of wave their hand in front of our face to see if we're actually in there or not. We're distracted by our inner thoughts. The second state of being is that we are distracted by the outer world, whether it's the people or the things that are going on around us. We're kind of staring at what's happening at us. And the third state of being is actually being present in the moment with ourselves and with it, what it is that we want to accomplish. So if you think about those three states of being, the eyes are actually involved in all of them. If we're lost and distracted by the inner world, our eyes are staring off into space and our mind is going. If we are distracted by the outer world with the people and things around us, we're kind of staring about what's happening in our environment. But in the third state of being, we're not staring. We are being present in the moment with ourselves and what we want to accomplish. So one of the secret hacks that I've found for being present with what it is I want to accomplish is to change the way my eyes are operating. And by doing that, I stop the stare and I go into a softer peripheral view. When you even if you're looking at this screen right now, if I tell you to turn on your peripheral view, you will not only see the screen in front of you, but you will also see yourself. Maybe you'll see your shoulders, maybe you'll see your hands out in front of you, wherever they may be, but you bring the focus back to yourself and what you're doing. In fact, you can even say, right now I'm watching this video, and you can see yourself watching this video. So that's the first part of the hack, is to change the focus from not on the external screen, not on the internal screen, but to being present in the moment with yourself and whatever the activity is that you're doing. The softening of the gaze or the focus will bring you into the present mind. It'll bring you out of the thinking mind. It'll bring you out of the distracted mind and to that quiet place of being. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have to train that ego that is in command probably a lot too much of the time. Sometimes you may have to go an extra step. And what I find very helpful in turning off that ego mind is letting it know what you're consciously doing at this time. And you can do that by, I am watching this video to learn how to hack the flow state, or I am working on the agenda for this upcoming meeting. You want to give it something to do. That way, it's only going to interrupt you with information that pertains to that which you're working on. It's not going to tell you, don't forget to bring the milk home or whatever. And this may take some practice. You may have to tell your mind several times that, hey, I'm focusing on this right now. But between the changing of your eyes, as well as the telling of your mind what it is you're doing, commanding your ego, not letting your ego command your life, you'll find that you'll be able to hack into the flow state much faster and on a more regular basis. So when can you practice this? Well, I recommend that you practice this hack all throughout the day, whether you're going to the bathroom or you're walking to the copier if you're back in the office, or maybe you're filling up your water bottle at home if you're working from home. Whatever the small activity is where you can stop and think just for a few seconds, okay, I am filling up my water bottle, or I am walking. My favorite time to use this hack is when I'm in the design thinking phase of the empathy phase, and I want to be really listening and engaging with the person that I am asking about their user experience or the particular vision that they have. So in order to keep me in the moment, listening to them, not listening to my mind has to say or arguing with the points they're making, but truly listening to them, I use this method of, turning on the peripheral vision and then telling my mind, I am listening, and begin to remind it of that if it begins to, interrupt me. But really, those two things together are the best hack that I've found for allowing the ego mind to fall away, to come back to the present moment, and to really get in the flow of the activity that I'm doing. So let me know what you thought. Be sure and like this video if you liked it, and if you found value in it, be sure and share it with your colleagues that might also benefit from it, as well as if you want to receive more video like this on design thinking, innovation, and leadership, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. Thanks and have a great day.